only 10 minutes into tuning. Shutdown. It's a weapon.
Project Madmac is back. We're now at the halfway point. We have 50 days to go. The exciting thing is all our engine parts have arrived, so we can now assemble our engine. We can then do all the fabrication and then get this thing on the dyno.
Here's the story so far. With just 100 days to turn a McLaren into a drift car, Madmac has ditched the McLaren V8 to replace it with a 3-rotary 20B turbo engine. He's performed the automotive equivalent of brain surgery, replacing the ECU and entire wiring loom. He's adapted a gear shifter from a simulator, inserted a hydraulic handbrake, he's fabricated a custom adapter plate to connect the rotary engine to the McLaren gearbox. Oh, and made a mad dash from NZ to Japan to design a custom body kit with the Rocket Bunny team.
Some more parts arrived. Our last rotor housing we're waiting for. So we can go get some stuff done.
So yesterday Alec dropped the crank down to Grant Munro at Rotorsport to do the balancing side of it. For balancing, we'll take our entire rotating assembly, the crank, the rotors, the whole lot goes and gets balanced. He said he'd turn it around over the weekend. It's Friday. He's actually already called us and said that it's going to be done today. That's the last pieces of the puzzle for Alec to be able to assemble our motor.
Now it's up to you, mate.
No.
All the pressure's on.
Bringing in the team now.
And what a team it is. Some of the most technically and creatively gifted minds in motorsport have joined forces with Madmac to make Madmac a reality.
This part of the project is out of my hands, but it's a part that I really love, and that is the pristine artwork that comes in the fabrication sides. We've got Brendan from B&R, he's come down, got to finish the exhaust, mount wastegates, we need wastegate pipes sticking out of the guards, rear calipers which we need to mount to our hubs for the hydraulic handbrake. Oh yeah, now we've got a frickin' handbrake. Brendan's under control of the fabrication. It gives me some time to now be able to sit down and design and measure up all my wheels. You can see we got a lot of wheels, a lot of different cars, and it's something that is the most important part about that aggressive stance, is having the right offset with the right tyre size. We've been to Japan, we have designed the body kit with Murata-san. I know exactly how wide we are from our 3D scans. We are 130 millimeters from hub face to the stock fender. And then I'm going to show you, I've actually got a special tool for working this out. Let me show you that special tool. There's a ruler that has millimeters and inches. It's a very expensive tool. I'm going to mark our center. I've got my hub face. I've worked out where our hub face sits to the stock fender.
Mike is actually a self-taught graphic designer, a skill he used long before drift driving to make a living as a sign writer. That skill is clear in his passion for the aesthetic of his cars. The stance of the car is something that has come to define his builds. They are always slammed super low, with tyres just millimeters from the fenders.
I really sucked at maths at school, but I can work out lots of numbers with wheels. So that works out to be a 20 by 12 neg 50 is the wheel I need to order. And that will sit perfect to the millimeter on the tyre. Easy. So that's my special tool. Well, those measurements are no good, but poster might be. You want to post them, mate? Yesterday we had a big delivery, and it's really the last bits for the engine, for us to be able to complete the engine side of it. All our parts showed up from PWR, which is all our cooling system. So these guys have been doing our cooling systems for a long time. This is our radiator, been done with a fan and everything on the back. Because our car is always sideways, it means that the factory intake and ducting is definitely not as efficient as it's designed on this car. Also up the front for lubricant, we've eliminated the McLaren power steering pump, and we're just running a Holden Astra pump. We run it because we know it works. I run it in a lot of our drift cars, so that's why I'm running it in this car. See, he can be serious. He actually is normal. Alec is in his prime today. This is his day where he gets to assemble the motors. Yeah, the serious side of Al comes out, so it's really cool to watch him. All the stuff is perfect to how he's wanted it, so now it's up to Al to be able to assemble that today, and then we'll have our finished block, so really excited.
Alec and Mike's rotary engine builds are world renowned for both the huge amount of horsepower they produce and their reliability. Alec's exacting standards mean that every component is measured to within a decimillimetre. Nothing less than perfection will satisfy him or Mike.
This is my first ever billet engine. I'm just a little bit nervous.
Eve,
hey,
hear that?
If you're not nervous, the reward ain't big enough. Dummy blocks out, gearbox is ready to go with our adapter plate, and here we have the heart. This is beauty. From all the Billet Pro plates, the whole engine assembly, the fabrication, this really is the holy grail, and as wild as we could think here at the Mad Lab for 20Bs. So for me, 20B is like the coolest engine, the best sound, power to weight, it fits in nicely behind the monocoque, goes into the gearbox, and this thing is truly overwhelming to look at. I don't know, I hope I just inspire people to chase their dreams, you know, and for me, the rotary engine has literally fueled my entire career, and it's gone from doing illegal, stupid stuff, which got me in a lot of trouble, you know, to then going into discovering drifting, but really elevating the sport of drifting. Priority one is have fun. So we're getting later into the Arvo, and tonight I fly out to Japan for D1 GP. It's the first round of the championship. Blair is going to bring the plenum back this afternoon. Once that goes on, this is actually ready to go back into the hole and get bolted in for the last time. Plugs, wiring, most of that is done. So when I get back next week, yeah, this is going to be in the hole and very close, ready for startup.
So while Mike is away competing at D1 GP in Japan, the team are dealing with some of the unique challenges that come with a build of this scale. Currently, the engine doesn't fit, so it's now Alex's turn to unleash the trusty grinder on Madmac. Meanwhile, Blair from JWB is finishing the massive intake plenum, which will deliver more air to the engine, amplifying the performance of Madmac to another level. And what you're looking at here are the completed arteries of this engine, which will pump all of the vital fluids around the vehicle. The cost was more than $20,000 for the fittings alone, and it's all been done just in time for Mike to arrive home from Japan, with a very special piece to add to this ridiculous, one-of-a-kind Madmac puzzle.
Back from Japan, I got a little bonus because Murata-san was out there 2 weeks from design to completion, and I was able to check in a rather large box. We have the Rocket Bunny kit, which looks like it's been through the absolute wars. The customs guys are like, oh, g'day Mike, car parts? Yeah, bolt. Fully completed kit. Oh boy. Hand manufactured. Still got all the fingerprints on it, look at that. Perfection is hard to improve on. This car is already really, really wide. I didn't actually want to go much wider, but Murata-san's been able to design this body kit so it looks way wider, but it's actually, if we look over here, there's only 20mm difference. Now it matches the rest of the fleet. Murata-san, honestly, is the man. I can start cutting carbon fiber, cutting fiberglass, cutting some steel, and start mounting all this stuff. I was going to go home and have a shower because I've literally just hopped off the plane. Put up the smell, mate, but this is a bit exciting because I got all the body kit here now, so I got to get straight into this. When the door opens, it comes in and then it's just going to sandwich that, so I'm going to have to like somehow make it not look like an afterthought. This will be the first cut through the bodywork without further ado. Sarge, you just scratched my fender. Sarge, what the? See, that's why it was a waste of time me, you know, gonna go home and have a shower after flying.
Your nose.
What? That's carbon fibre, mate. That's McLaren carbon fibre. Shit. So you can see the cut line of the wheel arch now. Way more aggressive, way more unique than just the round circle cut factory P1 fender. Come back in the morning and it'll be done. I spent the weekend cutting, grinding fiberglass and carbon fiber. The boys were here all weekend as well. Ryan was here running wires and Alec was here just running amok pretty much, telling us all what to do. You can tell he's been up for weeks on Red Bull. The main part now is Ryan's making sure all his wiring, like as you guys saw, we literally stripped every single wire out of this car, started from scratch, got our own brain, so that's the ECU, the Nexus R5 from Haltech, 2 PDM modules, and this The one at the front, which controls the lights, the wipers, plus the amount of stuff that's in the front from water pumps. We've got the Holden Astra pump, and then of course down the back, so we've got our fly-by-wire.
Go feel how much throttle there is.
What the? We've got power into it now, we've got dash lights, all the buttons come up on our keypad. The cool thing as well is with these dashes, you can change the configuration on how it looks. We're able to go through and we can customize the graphics, make it look all blue and camo like this thing's livery. Pretty freaking cool.
Months of work, blood, stress and tears. It's been a gigantic effort from the Mad Lab team and all of their partners. Now, it is the moment, one push of the button to see if Madmac will start for the first time.
Today is actually fire up. Oh, we did leave something factory McLaren, and that's the starter button. We just have to calibrate the Haltech with our fuel level. Calibrated at 0 now, and as we top it up, we'll probably put 60 litres into this tank. Oil, fuel, and then fire in the hole. The scary part is I've got to drive it actually. I'm just a little bit intimidated, eh?
But that's not the only scary part.
We had a bit of a scare this morning. The engine was full of oil. How did you even discover the engine was full of oil?
I just had an inkling. Last night when I was sitting in bed, I was thinking how much oil I put in, then I worked it.
Yeah, because we put like 16 litres of
15
litres of oil.
So I filled all the oil system, and there's probably a little bit of air that was in that. It's such a big oil pump. What I reckon it's done is it's fired it in. So then we've started and stopped it a few times, and every time it's just put a bit more and a bit more and measured the depth of the oil in the motor. It was halfway up the motor.
Holy shit.
Elimination.
Oh my god.
So I sucked all the oil out with that, so I emptied the engine, and then we've topped the oil up again, and then we've run it up and checked it, and the oil level stayed the same the whole time.
Some good news. Alice got a smile on his face. It looks like we've still got a lot to do. A lot of the fab work, which is you can't see all the in-score and piping, is done. But we just will fit that up tomorrow and put it on the floor for the first time. Okay, so we're Monday. Mitch arrived yesterday from Haltech out of Australia. They spent all of Sunday as well playing around. Right now just going through full fire up, checking over everything, calibrating the gearbox, doing as much as we can. And then Dyno this afternoon, if all goes to plan here, so it's going to be a noisy day. First time the car's actually touched down, and first drive of the car. That was the most fun I've had in a McLaren. About 10 minutes down the road, 15 minutes down the road, we'll be at the dyno.
A dynometer, or a dyno, is a device that measures force. Madmac will be attached to the dyno, which will collect torque readings at different speeds. This data will then be used to tune the engine and allow the team to calculate its true horsepower. This is a key part of unlocking the full potential of the motor so that Mike can drive it the way he wants, pushing the limits around the world. Well, that's how it works in theory. Unfortunately, they've destroyed the McLaren starter motor.
So yeah, we got to the dyno, we got it strapped on the dyno, we went to start it, and then the starter motor on the ring gear, on the flywheel, was jammed on it by like 5 mil. It was fully releasing, but it's still just wearing on it. So as the motor's spinning, it's spinning the starter motor as well. So we've already pulled the starter motor apart. Ryan's going to come down just when we put it back together, make sure all the bearings and everything are right.
While inspecting the starter motor, Ryan makes an unexpected discovery.
How do you know that by looking at that?
Ryan's realised that this McLaren starter motor isn't all that different from one you'd find on any run-of-the-mill daily drive. So with a conveniently donated starter motor from Mike's off-road stadium truck Rumble, work can resume.
Now we've been able to pull apart the starter motor that was on Rumble on Link's Stadium truck. We've pinched some parts out of his starter motor. You can clearly see his one is now going to go in the trash. And that one's going back together. But most importantly, as we have this, we're ready to go. So 8 AM we're allowed to make some noise at the dyno. So we're going to go there first thing. Back to the plan.
Okay, let's try that again. See if it cranks.
It's like always the most nerve-wracking part of the entire build is the dyno. On track when you're doing donuts and drifting and you're frickin' banging limiter, you don't even think about it, but it just sounds so much worse and dangerous when it's in a little confined room.
Maxing out this dyno. We're only 10 minutes into tuning. This shutdown. It's a weapon.
The weapon that is Madmac has claimed its first victim. The dyno simply couldn't handle how much power the custom-built 20B rotary was producing, and it has maxed out the dyno. Another challenge, another unwanted delay.
James got his own shop out here in East Tamaki, so this is dyno number 2 for us today. We're meant to be testing on track now. We're losing time, and now we've got to see if we've got a track day available for tomorrow. Puts us back a little bit. But like I say, always love a challenge. I just love the freaking flames and the response, that exact response me and Al were talking about, that tiny little flywheel and clutch. And you can just hear how freaking snappy it is.
And there you have it, confirmation that the Rotary 20B has produced 1,000 horsepower. It is an incredible result, but it also presents an incredible risk. 1,000 horsepower is the very limit of the McLaren gearbox's power rating.
The problem that we've got is we've got a 1,000 horsepower gearbox in it, and we're right on its limit now. So I'm just saying to Mike, we can carry on, but the problem that we've got is we're going to probably leave that gearbox on the track. Mike
I'm
knows,
happy, mate.
He wants to leave the gearbox on the track.
This thing is wild on the dyno, but as Al said, we're now at that point. Our gearbox is only rated to 1,000 horsepower. Plus we've got to consider the amount of shock loading through the clutch and the crazy amount of traction we've got through our tyres. We're now down to 25 days. We've still got to get this thing on the track. We've got to shake it down, and I've got to get comfortable in this thing so we can drift it at Goodwood Festival of Speed.